driver now faces charges 4 months after a crash that killed a 13-year-old.
Video of a man who shot and killed a state police trooper surfaces. The message he had before troopers shot and killed him.
And how Facebook helped police catch a man suspected of burglarizing a gym.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
A driver facing charges 4 months after a crash killed a 13-year-old girl.
Emily Sams died over Memorial Day weekend when a car hit her family's truck on I-64 in Scott County. The teen and her family were headed to a volleyball tournament at the time. WKYT's Monique Blair has more on the charges in our top story at 5.
Well, Sam and Amber, yesterday a grand jury charged 32-year-old Mohammed Abdullah with 1 count of manslaughter second degree and 2 counts of assault in the second degree. Now, the indictment says on May 23rd of this year, Abdullah wantonly drove his vehicle into the vehicle in which 13-year-old Emily Sams was a passenger. Sams was pronounced dead at the scene of that accident. The indictment also explains Abdullah is charged with 2 counts of assault for causing serious physical injury to Shella and Jeff Sams, Emily Sams' parents. I'm told Shella Sams, the more injured of the two, just came home from the hospital about a week ago. The Georgetown News graphic reports that a search warrant was obtained in August by the Scott County Sheriff's Office for a GPS device in the Toyota Camry allegedly driven by Abdullah. The warrant said the device might contain information confirming that the Camry was speeding at the time of that accident. Now, I'm told Abdullah is from Baltimore, Maryland, and today the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office tells me there is a warrant out for his arrest. Reporting live in Scott County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Each of the 3 charges are Class C felonies punishable by 5 to 10 years in prison.
New video today following the shooting death of a Kentucky State Police trooper. Joseph Johnson Shanks shot and killed Trooper Joseph Ponder following a traffic stop on I-24 in Lyon County yesterday. And troopers later shot and killed Johnson Shanks. Before they did, he made a video with a message on it. Our Miranda Combs is at the live desk with more on that.
Sam, the video is presumed to be taken during the manhunt of Johnson Shanks moments before police found him. They say he raised his gun and police fired at him, killing him.
I don't see anybody know who I love all y'all, man. I did something I ain't made to. I'm regretting.
That message, confirmed by state police to a Nashville TV station, is from 25-year-old Joseph Johnson Shanks. Police say he killed 31-year-old KSP trooper Joseph Ponder following a traffic stop late Sunday night. The tragedy started to unravel when Johnson Shanks was pulled over for going 103 miles per hour. A Louisville sheriff's deputy who is part of COPS, which stands for Concerned Police Survivors, had a police partner killed just 4 miles from where Ponder was shot 17 years ago. He says the grief never goes away.
It's not something that ever goes away. It's always something that's there. It just becomes part of who you are and what you do. It's how you choose to deal with it after the fact.
And we found out last night that Ponder was trying to actually help Johnson Shanks before he killed the officer by finding him a hotel room because he had an expired license. At the live desk, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Trooper Ponder's funeral will be at 11 o'clock Friday morning at the Severance Valley Baptist Church in Elizabethtown.
For one community organization, the beginning of the week means repairing their playground again. Vandals struck the Community Action Council Head Start on Winburn Drive over the weekend. Officials say it's something they've had to deal with over and over. WKYT's Sean Moody takes a closer look at the problem in a story that's new at 5.
This isn't the kind of sound you want to hear at a playground, but workers here at the Community Action Council Head Start on Winburn Drive say it's pretty routine.
It kind of troubles your heart sometimes when you come out and you see the damage, the vandalism. We check the playground every Monday to make sure that it's in a safe condition for our children before they come out. And these are some of the things we find after the weekend typically.
This week they say it was writing on the brick walls and damage to this equipment for some of the younger kids. Malcolm Ratchford said some middle school age children pulled the tops off this toy tree. They can't allow kids to play there until the equipment's repaired.
Pretty bold, you know, kids are coming out to play and I guess they get sidetracked or think it's a cool idea to come out and rip the tops off the trees on some of our equipment, but these things are behaviors that we want to correct early on.
One of the problems they say they've had out here is with this soft material that covers the playground area. This light blue spot here at the bottom of the slide is where they say kids have been cutting up in the material and they've had to replace it. They say it's not cheap.
When you have folks come out, we do the pour-in-place surface that you can see behind me. That is expensive. The structures themselves are expensive. So whenever these things happen, it does cost money and time to get those things fixed.
They say they want to stop kids from doing this before it escalates. Back in October 2013, they say someone set fire to another one of their playgrounds off Russell Cave Road. Malcolm says it'll take the whole community to solve this problem.
We're all in here together. We live here together. We work here together. So let's take care of our community.
In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Ratchford says they have video of the most recent incident. He said he's reaching out to local schools to try and help solve the problem.
Police finally caught up with a burglary suspect overnight. 30-year-old Russell Sipe is accused of breaking into the office of Workout Anytime on Maple Leaf Drive this spring. WKYT's Victor Puente talks to the gym's owner, who says what Sipe did while in the office helped them identify him as a suspect.
Today was the arraignment for a man charged with breaking into the office of this gym 6 months ago. The owners tell me that even if he hadn't been caught on surveillance video, he left an electronic trail. It was almost impossible to miss. Owner Eric Cowden says the crime happened around 2 a.m. on a Sunday back in March, while the gym was open to members, but no one else. He believes 30-year-old Russell Sipe used an old gym card to get inside.
It looked like somebody actually let him in the front door because he had been a past member.
Once inside, police say surveillance video showed Sipe checking the doorknobs of every room in the gym.
He ends up breaking into our office in the back. We had some change and credit card, but we don't keep any cash on the facility.
His arrest citation says he also got onto the gym's computer and never logged out.
What he did do, which was wonderful, is he decided to sit up on Facebook and leave his Facebook page open and tell his buddies on instant message that he's breaking into Workout Anytime, trying to steal whatever he could find.
Police located Sipe last night near Liberty Road and charged him with third-degree burglary. At his arraignment this afternoon, his attorney said he was currently in treatment and taking Suboxone. He asked Judge Pamela Goodwine to lower Sipe's bond so he could continue his rehab. Cowden says Sipe never bothered the other members who were working out at the time, but they have panic buttons if there had been an issue.
When you're 24 hours a day, that's a priority.
The judge did lower Sipe's bond to $500. He'll also be required to wear an ankle monitor while he's out on bail. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Police say Sipe was in the gym for about 2 hours. Well, our stretch of September weather continues. It will stay like this for at least the next few days.
It is just great out there. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is here now with an early check of your forecast. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, good looking weather out there over the past several days, and that is going to continue, as you mentioned, for at least a couple more days. We look outside, live Skycam, looking toward our WKYT weather garden. Soon enough, we'll start to see some of those fall colors showing up. Blue skies over top, upper 70s to right around 80 degrees still for much of central and eastern Kentucky. Low humidity as well. Boy, that is some good stuff that we're seeing out there this afternoon, and that's likely to roll on for a couple more days. High pressure that is just off to our east will continue to sit there, and it's going to give us the mild and warm conditions and the beautiful skies over the next several days. First things first, the evening that is upon us. As soon as the sun sets, watch out. Temperatures drop quickly through the 60s. Focus up the forecast. When I come back here in less than 10 minutes, we'll be on the weekend and some changes that we're tracking due into town on Saturday, guys. New hour-by-hour forecast to show you as well in just a few.
All right, Chris, thank you. A massive wildfire in California has claimed a life. An elderly woman died in the 67,000-acre fire burning north of Napa Valley. The fire has burned 600 homes and hundreds of other buildings. While there is a mandatory evacuation order in place, some have opted to stay.
Because there's not a lot of resources this way. We're just over here trying to do what we can, trying to stop whatever we can handle.
Authorities say some residents are still missing or unaccounted for, but they could be staying with relatives or out of town. 9 people have died in flash flooding in a town on the Utah-Arizona border. Many of the victims were in cars that washed away when the waters rose. There are still several people missing. Crews have brought in heavy equipment to help clear mud and debris so they can search.
A trial for a man accused in a woman's murder has been postponed. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Knox County. The Corbin Times-Tribune reports that Jonathan Taylor's trial will now be held on November 9th. Taylor is one of 3 people charged in the beating death of Catherine Mills in 2010. During his last hearing, Taylor learned that he will not face the death penalty. In Carter County, a former paramedic will spend 18 months in federal prison after admitting she stole a powerful painkiller. 35-year-old Amanda Jones will also be supervised for 3 years after her release. Jones stole fentanyl from an EMS storage center while working for Carter County EMS in 2012 and 2013. She pled guilty and made a charge of tampering with a consumer product.
2 students died when a bus ran off an overpass this morning. Houston, Texas police think another car hit the bus first, causing the driver to overcorrect and go off the overpass. 2 other students and the driver were seriously injured. The scene left many witnesses shocked.
She kind of like, the lady, she kind of like jammed on her brakes when she seen it. She was screaming, and I went around her and came on up here, and she kind of like stopped in the street because it was, I guess she was shocked too.
All of the students on the bus were high school students.
No classes today at Delta State University in Mississippi, 1 day after a deadly shooting on campus. Instructor Shannon Lamb shot and killed history professor Ethan Schmidt. Lamb is also suspected of killing a woman he lived with. Today, police reveal they found an apology note from Lamb saying he loved her and she's the only one who loved him. He shot and killed himself as police closed in on him last night. A grand jury is recommending charges against 37 people in the death of a college freshman. Chun Ding died in December of 2013 from injuries suffered in a hazing ritual for the Pi Delta Psi fraternity at a college in Pennsylvania. 5 people will be charged with murder. The others face charges ranging from hazing and hindering apprehension.
A group of migrants made it to the shores of Miami Beach this morning. 12 people and a dog made the trip from Cuba in a makeshift sailboat. They spent 6 days on the boat with little food or water. A crowd gathered and clapped for them as rescue crews helped them after their arrival. Donald Trump remains in the lead of the latest CBS News poll, but one of his challengers is right on his heels. Trump rose from 24% to 27% in the latest poll. Ben Carson is right behind him at 23%. He rose from 6% from the last poll.
When it comes to the use of antibiotics in meat, many restaurant chains use too much. A new report gave only 2 chains, Chipotle and Panera, A's for serving much of their meat from animals raised without antibiotics. Chick-fil-A received a B. Chains that received failing grades include Wendy's, Pizza Hut, Burger King, Domino's, and Taco Bell. Critics say the use of antibiotics in animals leads to bacteria becoming resistant.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A panel of national experts has issued a new draft recommendation on taking aspirin to fight against heart disease and cancer. But as Weijia Zhang shows us, the practice is not without risk and controversy.
For the first time, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force is recommending a daily low-dose aspirin to help prevent both cardiovascular disease and cancer.
For people who are at higher risk of heart attack and stroke, taking a low-dose aspirin daily has important health benefits.
The task force says daily low-dose aspirin taken over a 10-year period may help high-risk patients between 50 and 69 avoid their first heart attack, stroke, and colorectal cancer, as long as they're not at high risk for bleeding problems. Aspirin is a blood thinner, and Dr. Stephen Nissen, chairman of cardiovascular medicine at the Cleveland Clinic, is concerned it can lead to bleeding in the GI tract and even in the brain.
We worry that aspirin will be taken by a lot of the worried well, where the harms are going to exceed the benefits.
Doctors agree you should consult your physician before deciding what's best for you. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Washington.
The task force is asking for the public and health professionals to weigh in before making the recommendation official. Doctors point out everyone can reduce their risk of heart disease and cancer by not smoking, eating healthy, and exercising. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder may mask symptoms of autism in very young children. Researchers found 2 out of every 5 children diagnosed with ADHD and autism have been diagnosed with ADHD first. Researchers say being diagnosed with ADHD can delay an autism diagnosis, which can make a big difference in the child's future. Many children enjoy a bedtime snack, but what you give them really matters. Dietitians recommend avoiding sweets or foods containing caffeine. Something with protein can help keep them full until morning. Smart choices include popcorn, a bowl of whole grain cereal, whole grain crackers and cheese, or a cheese stick and fruit.
You want to make sure it's something calming for the children, nothing that's going to rev them up.
A bedtime snack can also be a good opportunity to make up any nutrients that your child may have missed throughout the day. For more